Hi, thank you for joining me for this somewhat odd, rambly, hopefully ASMR video. I am in the closet with terrible lighting. I love this lighting. It's terrible for the camera, it's wonderful for me. I am making this video to explain my 2-month lapse in releasing content and to explain the change to my channel name. It is something that I feel somewhat unsure about, somewhat insecure about. However, I felt that it was important for me to change the name of my channel to something that is more representative of myself, my mission, and my work. I think that having autism mentioned in the name of my channel is important. At least it's important to me so that I don't have to explain so much. But I know that there is a lot of misunderstanding around autism, in particular looking at it through the medical model rather than a more humanist perspective, I suppose. I want to explain why I haven't been around as much, because it is not only related to my move, but how I have dealt with that because of my autism. Transitions are very difficult. Being so radically taken out of my environment, my routine, is very challenging, and we are in transition, in temporary housing situation, and all of these unknowns have really made things difficult for me in terms of my anxiety and my difficulty with sleep. So I am very, very tired right now. I hope if you're watching this to sleep that is actually helpful to you. I've really been struggling to sleep in a new place with all of these things whirling around in my mind. And I do want to talk more about different ways that I've learned to help myself, different ways that I've learned to reframe my challenges and my autism in recognizing that our world as it is right now is not built for all types of people. And that's part of why I want to create and have this safe space where we can talk really openly about these things, and you can request different topics that I could do in ASMR format, because I feel strongly that autism and ASMR go so beautifully together. Just like every person with autism is different, every person who watches and enjoys ASMR is different. Not everyone likes the same type of ASMR content. There's absolutely no shade intended here. However, a lot of the content out there is just not for me. I find it to actually increase my anxiety a fair amount of the time. And even non-ASMR content, when I'm trying to find other people with autism that I can relate to, at times I find the filming style or the lighting or the sound, different things to again increase my anxiety. So part of why I do this is to create content for myself, and that might sound strange. It's not like I love to watch myself, believe me. It's fairly cringeworthy to me sometimes. However, I can create exactly the content that I want and need to see and hear and experience, and give myself, while I'm giving you, specific encouragement, validation, reassurance, that kind of thing. So yeah, I've changed the name, and I really hope that that doesn't affect my subscriber count, although I recognize that it may, whether certain folks may be confused and think, oh, well, I'm not actually subscribed to this channel, or I didn't mean to, and don't recognize it, or just don't, for whatever reason, vibe with the new name. I recognize that that may happen, but I really do hope that those of you who are subscribed will continue to remain subscribed, and I hope that more people will feel with the new name that they can kind of know me better. I've done a little bit of research and found that people really do like to connect with the person on camera. So I will try and show my face more. I will try and use my voice more. It is challenging. The eye contact, even with the camera, is very difficult. I have a tendency to always want to look up and to the left, my left. So another reason for the transparency is I don't always want to try so hard to do that. Sometimes that prevents me from making a video altogether, where if I'm feeling very socially conscious, self-conscious, that I won't make a video because I don't want to show my face, or I don't feel like I can make eye contact. So I don't want anyone to feel like they can't participate in the world, in society, because of these challenges. Obviously, when we can't cope, it is good to accept that and be okay with taking that time to be alone, to seek solitude, that's okay, that can be the best thing for us. However, if, like myself, we have something like this ASMR channel that we're passionate about, that we want to contribute, that I think that it's okay, and that we should be allowed, I guess, or feel comfortable, and as comfortable as we can, doing it in whatever way we can. So for me, it's one reason I don't have good lighting right now is I can't find my lights. I thought that I brought them with us, but I can't find them. But also, like I said, it's this transition has been really hard for me, and so dim lighting is something that helps me immensely with my sensory sensitivity and not feeling overwhelmed. So if I have to make a video with poor lighting, that's okay, and maybe my other sensory sensitive humans out there can appreciate it, and I'm kind of counting on that, especially with this change, that this more honest and authentic approach will be appreciated. So that is what's up, and I want to show you one thing that I have. We're kind of matchy. This is my warmie named Boop, and I realize I got a little louder because I get very excited about little buddies and things like that. I become very attached to inanimate objects sometimes, but this is my new warmie. My old warmie was ruined. Just to explain what a warmie is, they are these stuffed animals that are stuffed with lavender and flaxseed, so they have some weight to them, which is very comforting for a lot of us. The scent is very comforting, and you can actually microwave these guys if you want some heat. So this little guy I named Boop because when I saw Boop's image, I just wanted to boop. There's a cute little nose. My last warmie I accidentally threw in the wash with my sheets. So if you want to get one of these little guys, please be very careful not to do that because they can't get wet because of the flaxseed inside. If you've ever soaked flaxseed, you know that it gets really slimy. It's like a very viscous seed when it's wet. You definitely don't want to get those wet. It's just a spot clean only. But the fur is so soft. They do have a nice little sound. I do have my gain turned way down because it's very difficult to get quiet with my kiddos and traffic and things like that. So I don't know how well you can hear, but this is one thing that has really helped me with my sleep in particular. It's kind of odd, but maybe some of you can relate if you sleep with a partner who is somewhat of a aggressive breather, I guess you could say. My beloved partner, when he sleeps, he'll do this. So Boop is my breath blocker. I'll put Boop on my pillow so it blocks the sensation of that that my partner does while he sleeps. And the lavender scent is nice too. So not only for cuddling and for warming, but a breath blocker as well. I love to do more videos, and I plan to do more videos with items like this, different things that bring me comfort and help soothe me with, in particular, with my sensory overwhelm, and bring me comfort when I'm feeling socially overwhelmed. That said, I also want to share more, as I said, reframes and things that have really helped me to accept myself, accept my autism, and not take to heart a lot of the really medicalized views on autism and a lot of the perspectives of parents out there, honestly, parents of autistic children and adults even, who really don't seem to understand how wide a spectrum this is and how invalidating it is to individuals who may present their autism differently than these people's children. So, for example, there are a lot of channels that are created and maintained by parents of autistic children, in particular autistic boys, who will present very differently than a verbal, grown autistic woman. The female brain actually presents quite differently than the male brain does, and because of just a very short period where women have been involved in medical research at all, both as researchers and the people researched, the vast majority of the information and the research out there on autism is based on male neurology. So it can be incredibly invalidating to try and be finding information or trying to find some validation or reassurance, different things, and seeing all of these channels that claim to be centered on autism who have very little knowledge about how, like I said, how wide the spectrum is, and have these titles like 5 Reasons You Do Not Have Autism, not taking into account that there are a lot of verbal autistic people out there, and there are a lot of people who have learned to mask over the years and really, force eye contact, even though it can be difficult for them, different things like that. So I want to hold space for the entirety of the spectrum, not call into question whether or not someone has autism or not. For me, I wouldn't even consider myself high functioning, because I haven't been able to hold down a job in my entire life. The longest I've been able to maintain employment was a year, and that's because I got lucky. And one of the reasons why this channel is so important to me is because I've never been able to earn a living, and it would mean the world to me to be able to contribute to my family's financial stability and growth, being myself. And I've been at this for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years June 1st. And if this were a regular job, I would have been fired already. I recognize that because I've just had a 2-month hiatus where, because of my challenges, I haven't been able to do this. Just because someone may appear from a distance, or from a lack of knowing that person, they may appear to be neurotypical. You really don't know. So I think it's so important to just, as I said, hold space for the wide range of what this looks like, and the wide variety in which this affects people. Thank you for joining Boop and I today in this dimly lit closet. I hope that you like the new channel name, or at least can tolerate it enough to stick around and see what I have to offer. I really love to create a wide variety of ASMR videos. Like I said, I will try to show more of my face, because I think people like that, and it is something that I want to grow increasingly comfortable with. Even if I find that that's not possible, I at least want to give it a try. So thank you so much for joining me.